Chapter 30. Get up that tree, all the way to the top. The red-haired boy gave me another shove from behind. I felt his hand push my shoulder, and then, I felt my shoulder slide off. The shoulder slid forward and then started to fall. I uttered a startled gasp as my head slid off. My shoulders, my chest. I stood and stared, so confused. I watched my body crumble to the grass. It sprawled onto its side and didn't move. I stood there in amazement, staring down at my body, staring until I finally realized what had happened. Time was up. The hour had ended. I failed. Failed. Once again, I'd slipped from my body. And now I stood gazing down at myself in horror. A scream made me look up. The tough guys were staring at me with bulging eyes. They gaped down at my fallen body, and then up at me. And then they tossed back their heads in horrified screams. They were all screaming now. The tough guys, Maya, and Maya's three friends. Then they all spun away from the terrifying sight, staggering and stumbling, desperate to get away. I watched them run screaming down the street. The boys went one way, Maya and her friends headed for our house. I did it! I cried out loud. I saved 3 people. I rescued 3 frightened people. I did it! I did it! I knew that the hour had already ended, but I hoped Nord would give me a break. I hid my body under a bush. I'll be back for you in a minute, I told her happily. Then I took off, running to the ravine. I did it. I announced top of my lungs as I made my way past Mr. Benson's house. I did it! I saved 3 people! I stopped at the edge and peered across. Hey, Norb! I shouted. Norb, where are you? I did it! I'm back! Out of the darkness, Norb appeared on the other side. He still wore the ugly monster mask. He waved to me. Jump across, Brandon, he called. Hurry! You can do it! Jump across! Okay, I agreed. I stepped back and took a running start at the edge of the ravine. I leaped and made it easily to the other side. Welcome back, Norb said, his eyes studying me from inside the mask. I did it, I exclaimed. I saved 3 frightened people. Now get me back inside my body. Norb laughed. Oops, just joking, he declared. I gaped at him. Huh? What did you say? Oops, just joking, he repeated. He laughed harder. The other masked kids suddenly appeared behind him. They were laughing too. But you said, I pleaded. Oops, just joking, Norb cried gleefully. I swallowed hard. I was trembling so hard. I could barely speak. You mean, I choked out. Don't you get it, Brandon? Norb asked. He reached both hands up and tugged off his mask. No! I let out a scream as his face came into view. My face. I stared at my face. Norb tossed back his head and laughed. Happy Halloween! He shouted. Happy Halloween, Brandon! And then he reached both hands up and pulled off his face. It was a mask. Only a rubber mask. And underneath, nothing but air. He was headless. This year, I dressed up as you, Norb said. His face seemed to come out of nowhere. Didn't you guess? Didn't you figure it out when I told you my name? Norbin? It's Brandon. I just moved the letters around. Opened my mouth, but no sound came out. The other kids all laughed, and then they too pulled off their masks. I groaned. The faces were all decayed, crumbling, rotting away. Patches of green skin clinging to yellow bone, empty eye sockets, slack jaws with missing teeth. You're all dead, I choked out. And so are you, Norb said softly. You're one of us now, Brandon. You're one of us forever. I stared at him, letting it all sink in. They played a joke on me, a Halloween joke. There was never a chance to get my body back. A long sigh escaped my throat. I narrowed my eyes at Norb. Well, it's still Halloween, right? I asked. Yes, he replied. And we're all dead, right? I asked. Yes, he replied again. So come on, I cried, slapping him on the back. Let's cross over to the other side and do some serious scaring.